everyone. This is Tona Brown, and you're looking at my voice blog or video blog. And I just want to say this morning has been an emotional roller coaster. Last night, I was on the Mark Steiner show, and it was absolutely amazing. And then I woke up this morning because I had this song playing in my head over and over and over again from my high school days. And it was Amber's This Is Your Night. And I'm like, why am I hearing this song? So I go and I start listening to it. And I didn't know who the singer was even. I just knew This Is Your Night. I just knew that song. And so when I looked it up on YouTube, I see it, and all of a sudden I just started bawling, crying. And I'm like, where is this coming from? I'm all dancing like, oh, you know, in it, and thinking about dancing at the club and feeling so free and liberated. And what a lot of people don't know is that back then in the 90s, the only place you really could go as a gay male to actually meet someone usually was at the club. And I had not been to a club until I was 18 years old in college, so I never had that experience. But then I realized, wait a minute, this is not just about your feeling of elation, and this is about a whole bunch of feelings. And where is this coming from? And I thought about it in 98. I had my first boyfriend. I lost my virginity to him. We had this inseparable relationship. And there was also the time that I decided to tell my mother that I was bisexual at first. And my mother said, darling, I don't think that you're bisexual. What would make you say that? And I said, well, I hadn't transitioned. I really didn't know what to say. But I was like, I know that I like men and I prefer men. And she said, well, how do you know? And I said, well, I have a boyfriend. And I kind of eased that into her. And she goes, oh, you do? What's his name? And I told her his name was Antoine. And we went to the same art high school together. And I'm going to try not to get too emotional. And I was so in love. And I remember listening to this song, and what made me cry was thinking about just how innocent we were, and just how it's amazing how music can just take you there, and you just remember everything as if it was yesterday. And so my mother said, well, I want you to promise me this: do not put a label on yourself until you're 25, because I don't think that you're bisexual. I do know bisexual people. And she said, I think you're going to be going through a lot of changes, and I want you to just be yourself, whatever that is. And I said, okay, Of course, I didn't know that my mom knew that I was transgendered, but this I didn't know that at the time. And I was just, I was like, well, how are you going to feel about me? I know you want grandchildren and all these different things. And my mom was like, you're my firstborn and you're my child, and I'm going to love you no matter what. And I've known ever since you were 3 years old who you are. Be who you are. And just don't bring shame on the family. She made me laugh, and I started crying, and she was just like, what's the matter with you? Are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. She was like, I don't have any issues with you at all. She was like, but I don't want to hear you label yourself. She said, be you. If this man makes you happy, then I want you to be happy. Can I meet him? And so I remember just sitting there and just telling her how much I loved her, and I just knew I had the best mom in the world. And I knew that she meant what she said, and she would be there regardless. My relationship with Antoine was amazing. And I think one of the things that I would like for everyone to feel, all the children, which is what my mother called LGBT people, is knowing what that feels like to be loved unconditionally by your family and a significant other. Excuse me from crying. I was trying not to. It was an amazing time in my life, because here I was coming out. I got my little ears pierced, and changed up my little garments, and I was going out, I was clubbing, everything was fabulous. And I also started to feel heartbreak and betrayal during that period. I had a best friend at the time that actually wanted to be with me and didn't really like my boyfriend, and he tried to sabotage the relationship. And my boyfriend cheated on me at an arts program at Juilliard. And it was interesting because I had a premonition that he was going to do it. Now, he and I are both from very religious families and upbringings, and he was actually a youth evangelist. And I told him, I said, I feel like you're going to cheat on me. And he was like, what? Where is this coming from? Because I'm not a jealous person at all, you know. And he said, what are you talking about? And I just had this feeling, and I knew the person he was going to do it with, and I mentioned the person. And he said, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. And, we were there at Juilliard for about 3 days for the Juilliard experience. And it did happen. And so we ended up breaking up. And God bless his soul, he tried to get back with me for about 2 years or 2.5 years. He followed me to college, and we tried to reconnect after school. And, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. I still love him, today. We're great friends. I'm glad he went out for what he was looking for, which was really a man. And, when we did try to reconcile, we had an amazing conversation over dinner. And I was just like, I'm not who I used to be. I've changed a lot. And I'm happy being me, and I'll be happier if you be yourself and find the partner that you've always wanted. And that's not going to be me. It's not going to be me. And it would be selfish of me to try to hold on to you when I know I'm going through these changes and you're not attracted to women. You are a gay male. And so it was very, very difficult. And it was one of those things I've never shared with anyone. And it's interesting how a song can bring up all of those memories just listening to a song. And that's another reason why I feel that music is so powerful, and why artists should be a lot more not only respectful of the power that music have, but also understand that also entails having responsibility, because music goes in your head and it's like a mantra. And if you're listening to things that are negative, then those negative feelings and emotions are constantly going throughout your mind over and over and over again. My mother has passed away now for a couple years, and she was definitely my best friend. And like I said, that song reminds me of discovering who I am, and going to the club and just dancing the night away, and just hearing that song, and we would come on the radio, just turning it up loud and just dancing and just saying, this is me, I'm free, and I'm gonna be me regardless. And I knew that as long as my mother had my back, I didn't care what anyone else had to say. And it was what it was. This is who I am. And so I just want to share a little bit about this experience this morning with you guys, because it was really something. I mean, I'm surprised my eyes are not really red, but I was in here just crying, and I wrote him a note on Facebook because we're friends. And I was just like, can you listen to this song? Do you remember this? And we were just talking about just how much fun we had, and just our relationship, and just being innocent and free. And I just really hope that many of you experience that. A song is something different to everybody, but just experiencing, the whole elation of finding yourself and just saying, this is who I am, and I love me. I love me just the way I am. I don't want to change anything about me, but I need to learn more about myself. My mother was exactly right. I did not put a label on myself. Me and my boyfriend were together. We wanted to get married. We were a amazing. You know, he loved me, I loved him, and we remained really, really good friends to this day. He was actually there at my mother's funeral, and I do adore him. He's a very intellectual guy. He's doing amazing things, and he's helping lots of people, and that's what he's always wanted to do. And I'm so proud of him. But that period was just a period of fun times and happiness and joy, and some not so good experiences as well. So just wanted to share that with you, and I hope it was helpful to you guys today, and that you guys have a blessed and prosperous day. Thank you. Bye.